Hi everyone, my name is Yashwanth Kumar Reddy. I have cleared UPSC 2020 exam with rank of 93. This was my second attempt. In my earlier attempt in 2019, I was not able to clear prelims. I missed the cutoff by 1 or 2 marks. To be precise, 1.66 marks. So, with my limited experience with UPSC, I just wanted to share a few insights which I have gathered. So we are seeing that the prelims exam, it is becoming more and more unpredictable these days. So concentrating on clearing that prelims exam has become one of the most important things about the examination. So what I would suggest is, firstly, we need to have a clear understanding of the demand of the examination, like how UPSC is asking questions. So for that, we need to completely focus on understanding the pattern by going through the previous year question papers, at least 4 to 5 years. We can clearly see a shift of the kind of questions UPSC is asking from the in recent years. So after that, everybody of us would be doing basic NCRTs and standard reference books, which are referred by multiple toppers. So make sure that from those books, you just prepare some revision notes of just 10 to 15 pages for each subject, so that it will be very handy when the exam is coming more near and near. So that instead of revising through the main books, you can just revise from your revision notes itself, so that you can complete multiple number of revisions.
उप्स, इस रुकावट के लिए सॉरी, पर आपकी यूपीएससी की तैयारी में कोई बाधा ना आए, चाहे वो रिसोर्सेज की हो या सही गाइडेंस की। इसके लिए पिछले 5 साल से स्लीपी क्लासेस क्वालिटी कंटेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहा है अफोर्डेबल प्राइसेस पे। यूपीएससी कोचिंग में हमने एक भ्रम को तोड़ा है कि ओल्डेस्ट इज द बेस्ट या महंगा सबसे बेहतर है, और हमारी सैकड़ों सक्सेस स्टोरीज इस बात की गवाह हैं। तो आइए अपनी यूपीएससी की जर्नी शुरू कीजिए हमारे साथ, जुड़िए हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पे और एनरोल कीजिए यूपीएससी 2022 और 23 के कोर्सेज के लिए हमारी ऐप पर। धन्यवाद।
As the retention of content is the key in examination. So if we zero down on few topics which we are unable to remember perfectly, or in which we are not comfortable enough, so I think our revision will become more simpler. I have practiced this in my second attempt. I made a notes of 15 to 20 pages for each of the topics, and I have made sure that I don't repeat important topics when where I am comfortable enough. I have put only those topics in which I am not comfortable in those papers, so that I will be able to revise them multiple times. So after these revisions, one thing that I have missed in my earlier attempt is writing more number of mock tests. Although the same questions might not be repeated in the examination, the kind of journey we make in the mock test, that will make us ready for the main examination. For example, I came to through mock tests, I came to know that the accuracy level of myself is very less. So to cross the cutoff, I made sure that I used to attempt as many number of questions as possible, at least 80 to 85 to 90, irrespective of the difficulty of the examination. So mock tests are an opportunity where we can know better about ourselves, and where we can apply multiple techniques that are being said by various peers or toppers or whatever. For example, people tell that we need to cover question paper in 3 to 4 iterations. In the first iteration, solve all the easier questions. In the second iteration, solve questions in which you are 50-50 sure about the answer. In third iteration, just solve questions which are needed to reach that number of questions you have targeted upon. So while doing this also, I made sure that in the first iteration itself, I was marking the questions for second iteration and third iteration with a different mark. For example, the question I wanted to come in the second iteration, I used to put 1 circle, and the questions I wanted to come in the third iteration, I used to put 2 circles around the question number. And the questions I don't want to attempt at all at any cost, I just used to cross them. So like in the next iterations, we save a lot of time. Without glancing these questions, we can just directly go to the questions which we have marked. So it will save a lot of time. And further, there are multiple techniques like elimination techniques, etc., which are there in YouTube videos, etc. So they might not be applicable or beneficial all the time. So like have due diligence while applying that. And if you want to arrive at any elimination techniques or anything, just practice them on previous year questions only. Don't practice those techniques on mock papers, because mock test papers are designed in a way such that they focus mostly on exceptions, but the real question paper doesn't focus that much on exceptions. So make sure that the techniques you wanted to apply in the exam, only test them only in the previous year question papers, but not in the mock tests. And try to cover as many mocks as possible. And after mocks, spend at least 1 to 2 hours of quality time in analyzing your performance in the mock test, like in which areas you are not able to perform well. And for example, if you are not able to mark an answer to the particular question correctly, so just go a bit deeper. Why you are not able to mark that question correctly? Was it because of lack of knowledge about the topic, or was it because of any lack of issues in application of any topic which you have known already, or was it because of any silly mistakes, etc.? So likewise, we can just expand our knowledge base and also fine tweak the technique of attempting the examination, so that we will be fully ready for the main test. And having said all this is just half of the game. The real half game, which would give us results, starts at in the examination hall when the exam begins. So try to try not to think about the result. Don't have over expectations while attempting the examination. Just have a cool mind. Treat every question as a new opportunity. Even though if you are not able to attempt, if you are not able to do well in the initial set of 10 to 15 questions, please don't lose confidence, because even many people doesn't know answers to more than 40 to 45 questions accurately. So everything, many of them use techniques like elimination method, etc., to arrive at the answer. So it is okay if you are not knowing answers to a few questions also. Don't lose confidence. Have that confidence running in you. And keep thinking that there might be easier questions at the end of the paper, like which you haven't seen yet. So like save your energy and save your confidence to attempt those questions. And one more thing about prelims question paper is, it is also important to identify and answer correctly easy questions. So we should not miss out on those low hanging fruits. The difficult questions, many of us would not be able to answer, but the easier questions, if we are not able to answer them, then we would be very far behind from the crowd. So make sure that we are not missing out on the easy questions. And apart from that, try to solve as many medium difficult questions as possible, and try to attempt few difficult questions if your number is not yet come up. So this is one thing. And while attempting the paper also, try to be with a cool mind. It is very difficult in that pressure scenario. I have experienced it once in 2019 attempt. My question paper has started with history. So history was a bit typical these days in the last 2-3 years. So after completing some 15 to 20 odd questions, I was not able to mark even 3-4 questions correctly. I mean, at least even 3 to 4 questions correctly. So my confidence was totally shattered, and I have lost hopes on the examination at that point itself. But in that year, even many questions from economy, polity are very easy. They were in the latter stages of the question paper, but my energy levels and my confidence was already down. So because of that, I was not able to perform well in the examination. So make sure that if you are comfortable in any subject, then if possible, try to start from that subject itself in the question paper, without starting from the question number 1. So like having that confidence rising in the first few minutes of the examination, that will give a good amount of boost for the remaining part of the examination. And one more thing, and one more small thing is that don't delay circling in OMR sheet. That also I have did in my first attempt. In the last 2 to 3 minutes, I had to bubble more than 10 to 15 questions. So when we are writing mocks, the number of the number of papers in the question paper are very small, like 10 to 12 pages max. But in the main question paper, there would be around 25 to 30 papers. So it would be very difficult to search out and find that particular question where you haven't marked. So like don't try to cut out wastage of time in these issues, and try to mark OMR at least 15 to 20 minutes before the completion of the examination in the questions where you are sure about.
DKT UPSC CSE। अगर आप केवल सिविल सर्विस परीक्षा के प्रीलिम्स, मेंस और इंटरव्यू के वीडियो देखना चाहते हैं तो सब्सक्राइब करें DKT UPSC CSE चैनल। यहाँ आपको टॉपर्स के वीडियो रैंक के हिसाब से अरेंज मिलेंगे। चैनल के लिंक के लिए डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में जाएं।
Prelims 2022 is around 3.5 months from now. So for people who are attempting it for the first or second time, then devoting quality 3 months of time for prelims would be very good. But for senior players who are having good amount of confidence, devoting 2 months is also fine. And one strategy for revision that I would suggest is try to complete as many mock tests as possible in the first 2 months. Like in the coming March and April, try to devote 1 week of time to each subject. For example, 1 week to history, 1 week to geography, 1 week to economy, such that. And in that period, try to make your short revision notes also, so that in the last 2 weeks before the examination, you can completely depend on those revision notes. And while writing mock tests also, if possible, try to write down in a notes the topics which you have made mistakes, so that that also you can keep revising in the last moment before the examination. And further, make sure that adding current affairs, like many people might be using prelims compilations, or people might be having their own notes of current affairs. Try to add those current affairs also. For example, if possible, weekly 1 month current affairs or 2 month current affairs we can complete, along with the static portion that we are completing in that week. I think this would be a good strategy for revision. I hope you people would be cool and apply all your insights and knowledge that you have gained in the years that we have put in the preparation, and emerge successful in the prelims exam.